Testing, 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 testing. Whoa, whoa, be careful. Keep your arms and legs inside the podcast at all times. You're up high and I'm down low. The reason for this is, well, I'll give you an example. I love giving examples of things rather than just explaining myself. I was recording something yesterday for the Small Dude, possibly the best video yet. It's called something along the lines of, I found an unaired episode of Family Guy. And it's not finished and it's probably not out by the time you're watching this, but it will be out soon, and oh my god, it's fucking funny. So I was filming a bit with some double doors. This is me explaining why you're up high and I'm down low. I was filming a bit with double doors, and if you can imagine, like, the double doors are like directly ahead of me. So I'm facing this way and they're just like straight on. And it makes sense for me. You film stuff like straight the way you see it. There's a word for it, I can't remember. But let's just call it like the standard perspective. Like if you're drawing a picture of a horse, you're gonna draw it from how it looks if you were like standing looking straight at it. If you ask any given person to draw a picture of a horse, they're not gonna draw it like from underneath, or like directly underneath, or like from an angle, or from above. They're gonna probably draw it like the horse is facing to the right and you're like looking straight at it. So I was filming these double doors yesterday, and I was just filming it straight on, which makes sense, but it just looks so boring. And then when I just like took the camera down and filmed it from below at an angle, it just looks so much more fun. So that's why I like to film things at funny angles. What a podcast is this? What a podcast is this? Why the fuck do I sound like I can't speak English? It's a funny thing, you might notice I'm from Ireland. It's not my first language, so if I ever say anything wrong, anything inarticulate, simply not factual, it's because English isn't my first language. I'm never wrong and I never lie. I just simply don't speak English. Oh yeah, so what else have you noticed? I've got a big red microphone. That's true. I've got a piece of paper that says all the things that are coming up. So coming up, we've got a chit chat. That's what we're doing now. We're chit chatting. We've got the computer corner, where we're going to go over to the computer over there in the corner and use it for video, interesting things, information, video information. Then we're probably going to chit chat again, maybe not, we'll see how it goes. And then we've got Song Central, where I'm going to play you one of my many songs. So I guess chit chat. Oh yeah, I also want to say, listen up, all right? I don't care if you weren't listening before, you gotta listen now. You're watching this on Patreon, that's where this is intended. When I did that first audio podcast, I was thinking that I would just like record myself talking for an hour in audio form, and I'd do that every week or something. But I have this problem where I can't half-ass stuff. I find it impossible to just like do filler. It's really hard. And if there's something I put out that I think I didn't try my best with it, I end up unlisting it. And I used to kind of hide behind that, like, all right, well, you know, if this isn't the best, I'll just unlist it. I'll just take it down and no one can see it. No one can see my L. That's a cool internet term I learned. L for loss. No one will see my loss. And I know a lot of people do that. I think I might have talked about this in the last episode. A lot of people who I've talked to online on Discord and stuff, they unlist their videos because they're like, it's not that good, you know, it doesn't represent me. And I've been there, but people hold me accountable for it now. Even when I change the title and thumbnail of a video to something that I think might be better, but it's like completely different, people will think that video's gone. Or they'll be like, hey, why did you change the title and thumbnail? Why did you unlist your video? That was one of my favorite videos. So now I can't. I know I can't unlist stuff. I can't hack the system. I can't fool you. Not so easy. Because you're going to know that it's missing. And that's really nice. I appreciate that people care enough to know that it's missing. So now I know that I can't just hop on a mic and improvise for an hour and delete it, because you'll know that it's gone. And furthermore, what's the fucking point in putting out something that you don't stand behind? So then, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't even be fucking explaining it. Oh yeah, so the point was, I thought I'd just do an audio thing and you can just like listen to an audio every week. And I thought that would be good. But then I thought, I'm a YouTube channel, man. I host a YouTube channel. That's how you know me. That's how we met. But that would lead you to believe, that would suggest that I should make a video podcast because I'm a video guy. You like video stuff. We're video friends. So that's where this idea came from. But then the half-ass thing, it's like, you can't just turn on I can't just turn on a camera or a phone or record myself in selfie mode for an hour. I just can't deal with that existing out there in its lazy state. So I guess this podcast is just turning into a bit of a feature. Wowee, what a feature. That's what you're saying to yourself? Wow, what a feature! That's what I say to myself when I see a great video. God, that's feature-esque. So that's what this is. But yeah, I kind of... Oh yeah, so this is on Patreon, right? And I kind of need you to tell me, if you want an audio-only podcast, you should tell me. Because I actually kind of hate video podcasts. Just in the sense that I don't like to... I mean, what? Are you just sitting down watching this on TV? On your living room TV? I mean, that's perfectly fine. I do that sometimes with a video podcast. Rarely. But most of the time, I want to listen to a podcast when I'm like going out for a walk. Because I spend all day looking at screens. And going out walking, like listening to a podcast is a good kind of a thing to do. But then there's nothing fucking worse than listening to an audio podcast and they're watching a video and it has no substance to you. And I used to think that was outrageous. I'd listen to an audio version of a video podcast and they'd be like, hey, throw up that video of the man falling over. And then you'll just hear like audio of wind blowing into a microphone and people howling, laughing. Ha ha ha! He fell over! And that's all well and good for the audio description of a man falling over. But it's not great audio content, is it? Listening to people being like, whoa, watching this video is so much fun right now. So, me doing this podcast, it's inevitable that I'll be playing video stuff. Look, I just don't think it can work both ways. Because if you're doing an audio-only podcast, like I can do that, and there's fun ways to do that, but then you can't see me, and I can't show you videos, and I can't play around with the cameras, and I wanna play around with the cameras. I wanna play with my toys. So you just can't have it both ways. You're sacrificing one either way. So let me know. If you really want an audio podcast, say it. Stand loud and proud and say, brother, I'm an audio guy. And I'll think about it. I'm not going to say that I'll change, but I will. I guarantee you I will think about it. And if you like the video podcast, you should probably say that as well. Look, I don't want to be putting you out of your way here. You know, here's a way to make it easy. Because some people be like, how do I articulate myself in the comment section to let them know that, like, hey, I'm kind of cool with both. Hey, do whatever you want. Look, let's just keep it simple. okay, in whatever the comment section is, either on the video or on Patreon or whatever, just simply say audio or video. Just that's it. No nuance to it. Just say video, and then I'll be like, right, they like the video, and then we'll carry on. Am I getting you to do too much work here? All right. I did want to talk about something. It's about me. It's about me and my life. Isn't that fun? Don't you like talking about me? Isn't it fun listening to me talking about me? Isn't this a great podcast to listen to? Aren't I so good to you? I'm good to you, baby. I'm good to you, baby. Hey, sweetie pie, I treat you good, right? I treat you good. Isn't that right? I treat you good. Real good. It's POV, you're my wife. God forbid I ever get a wife one day and she dies in uncertain circumstances. If anyone looks back at all the countless jokes I've made about killing your wife, I'm gonna look pretty guilty. Damn. It's just too funny. There's something so funny about killing your wife. Because you've committed yourself to this person. Why the fuck would you go and kill them? Like, what must have happened for you to have come to that conclusion that, all right, listen, I've committed my life to you. I share 50% of my things with you. I might even have spawned children into this world with you. But you know what? Now what's going to happen? I'm going to cheat you of your life. I'm going to do the ultimate evil deed. Why would you do that? You know, the funny thing is the reason why you would do that is a spontaneous spur of the moment decision. I mean, imagine like a calculated, don't imagine this. A calculated murder of your wife. Like, that's funny. Because why the fuck have you gotten yourself into that situation? It's like, I can imagine, all right, people kill their wives in a spontaneous heat of the moment thing because they're blinded by fury and their emotions have been hijacked. Like, I'm not saying I get that, but that makes more sense. But a calculated murder of your wife, like, now you're a fucking retard. That's like buying a car, spending, how much does a car cost? What, 50 grand? I don't know. I don't drive. That's like buying a car, spending loads of money on it, taking out like a multi-year loan and driving it around for, I don't know, like 2-3 years and being like, I fucking hate this car! Fuck you! And driving it off a cliff and just watching it go and being like, oh man, what have I done? My car! You're a fucking idiot if you do that. There's some advice. I hope no one out here is thinking of doing either of those things. But did you get my point? It's just like why I'm so careful with the things that I introduce into my life. I don't spontaneously commit myself to huge commitments. So therefore, it's just hilarious to me that someone would be so irrational. I don't know. You know what? Here's the thing that I'm constantly trying to explain to people. I'm constantly perplexed by how people will fuck up their lives in massive, unthinkable ways. And it happens all the time. Like, I was talking to this guy who I went to school with. This wasn't what I was going to talk about at all, but anyway. I was talking to this guy I went to school with. Hadn't seen him for 10 years or something like that. Probably less, actually. But I was asking him how he was getting on. He got me a job in a supermarket once, and he was the janitor, and I was the banana boy. I stuck vegetables on the shelves, and he was like, "What are you up to?" And I was like, make videos." And he was like, "Cool, yeah, nice, yeah, great." He didn't ask further. I told him it was animation. I was like, "What are you up to?" And he's like, "I'm starting an apprenticeship in woodwork or carpentry or something." He's in his mid-20s, you know. He's starting an apprenticeship. He was a janitor in that supermarket for like 7 years. 7 years a janitor. And now he's like a trainee carpenter or something. Plumber, I don't know. One of those things. He's not getting paid, you know? He's like a little boy, like the intern. He's an intern. And like I wouldn't say this to him, but it's like, why were you a janitor for 7 years? That's baffling to me. Why the fuck were you a janitor for 7 years? Do not tell me that there was no other option. I mean, this guy, feel bad and I shit talking on him, but like, he's got some things holding him back, let's say. And it's not like, man, you're the most talented, smartest guy ever, you should be in NASA. It's not like he's wasting huge potential necessarily, but like, he's a good guy. He's got a good heart. And he's strange. I will admit he's strange, but he's better than a fucking janitor for 7 years. I mean, who's a janitor when they're like 19? Anyway, there's just no excuse. There's no way you can tell me that there was no other option. That's ridiculous, my friend. So why are you fucking up your life like that? And then there's all these small things like, look, I know everybody's got their vices, but I try and cut them down as much as I can. But it's like, this guy smokes a lot, drinks a lot, does drugs, spends all his money on nights out, lives in like a really inconvenient place. He lives like fucking 2 hours from where he works or something like that. He lives in a super fucking expensive a place he's sharing with his friends. And you know, look, not everyone can master all of these things. Everyone's got their own fucking hardships to overcome. But what the fuck, man? Why are you fucking up your life like so bad? Do you care about your life? Are you trying right now? This is like, that's the kind of character who I'd end up with it in a video game where there's no real consequences. I'd be halfway through a game and I'll be like, man, I suck. And it wouldn't be fun. But somehow this guy seems like so happy. Delighted with himself. Just, I mean, he was way happier than I was. But you know, this is just my perplexity when I meet people. They just do these bizarre things where, like, he might be happy, but you know what would make you way happier? If you were like, had a job that you liked and you got paid money and lived in a good place and were healthy. I guarantee you'd feel better. But anyway, easier said than done, right? This actually does kind of link in with what I was going to talk about originally, because you should be saying to yourself right now, who's this guy to judge? This guy's probably rich. He has a room, is what you're saying. And I didn't want you to get the wrong idea. But here's the thing. Here's a segue for you. I'm actually not rich at all. I am fucking broke. I have like €0. I have 30 cents in my bank account, as you might have seen in my video where I was selling my hat, which is elsewhere. I have no money at all. Oh no, I do. I'll explain in a minute. But I'm broke, and the reason this is important is because the camera I'm using sucks. It's shit. I mean, like, it looks nice, but it's an entry-level camera, and it only records for 29 minutes or 29 minutes 59 seconds, because there's some fucking, what do you call it, law or some tax implication for when Canon, the camera company, when they're shipping out their cameras, if a camera can record video for 30 minutes or more, then it qualifies as a video camera. And video cameras have like more tax. You have to pay more tax on shipping to send out video cameras than you do with like a DSLR or a photo camera. Now, I'm not an expert in this, but that's what I read somewhere. So they only record 29 minutes and 59 seconds, so that it's technically not classified as a video camera, which is so fucking annoying. So I'm up to like 28 minutes now. So I'm gonna have to swap over now to my GoPro, which can record forever until the end of time. So we're gonna do that now. This carton, this fucked up carton that I'm drinking from is actually a good reason, a good indicator of my poverty. So I'm rich in some ways and I'm very poor in others. I'm poor in money, but I'm very rich in property and time and skill. And allow me to explain. So basically, I'm living in a house, right? There's not just one room. It's multiple rooms connected together, with a front and back garden, and it's fucking huge. I mean, by my standards, it is actually. I mean, it's not like, I don't know. I've seen some pretty big houses in my time. This is like a fucking family house, but it's not mine. This is not my house. And genuinely, the person who owns this house does not know that I'm living in this house. The government does not know that I'm living in this house. And if they knew, it would be illegal. And to be honest, they still probably wouldn't do anything, because I'd be shocked if they got up off their lazy fucking arses and arrested me. So, the reason the person who owns this house doesn't know I live here is because she doesn't even know her own name. She's a 94-year-old woman. And I don't even know her. I only met her once. She is my granddad's cousin. I feel like I shouldn't be broadcasting this. Anyway. I shouldn't get on camera. I knew this would happen. I would get on camera and I'd immediately start talking about the crimes I've committed. That's fucking so typical. Anyway, it's not that bad. My granddad's cousin is in a retirement home, and she has a house, and the house is being used as collateral for, basically, she can't afford the retirement home. So she's saying, well, I've got a house, and the retirement home is like, well, if you give us the house, we'll let you stay in the retirement home. And she's like, okay, cool, good deal. That's an extreme oversimplification. It's actually the government who gets the house in the end. But anyway, my granddad told me, hey, there's a house. Do you want it? And when he said that to me, I was in Spain. Because I moved there. I kind of got stuck there during the pandemic, but then ended up staying because I couldn't afford rent anywhere else. I was in like a horribly poor part of Spain. And I was just abusing the fact that they're so poor that the rent is cheap. So I just lived a life of luxury there, relatively speaking. But so now I'm back in Ireland, and I have this house, but there's absolutely no guarantee of me staying here. Like, I could get kicked out tomorrow. I actually don't want to go into too much. I've kind of got paranoid now that I'm gonna get fucked. But anyway, that's the story. I thought it's kind of interesting. Maybe I'll talk about it some other time. But I've got a goddamn house. Oh yeah, so here's where the story goes. So I came here like before Christmas. It was like, let's say January 1st, 2022. It was around that time. And I had stopped doing the small dude videos for a couple months. I'd previously been uploading every week for a couple months. Then I stopped, and then on January 1st, 2022, I was actually on the phone to someone in America, and I just checked the time. I was like, oh shit, it's midnight, January 1st, 2022, and he's 5 hours behind, so I was just kind of, I don't know, I was just thinking about it anyway. And I'm not the kind of cheesy fucking New Year's resolution type guy, but I was just sitting here in this house that I just gotten to, And I'd been through so much shit the past couple of years. I was like, God damn, this is good. I need to take advantage. Whenever you get a good opportunity like that, like a once in a lifetime opportunity like that, fucking take it and run with it. I mean, like young people these days, you can't rent. Renting is insane. I mean, it can be done, but you're gonna be poor as fuck. And I've been renting since I was 17. And you can't save money. It is so hard. Like, you live on noodles. And you live on these cartons of, like, unknown paste. Because they're really cheap. And they fill you up. And this is what I eat. I eat cartons of paste. And they also sell these, like, bars. Like, kind of like protein bar type things, but they're just like blocks of food. They're food blocks. I eat food blocks and carton paste. Anyways, so January 1st, 2022, I was just saying to myself, all right, I've got a golden opportunity here. This will never happen again. Like, I don't have to pay rent, but I just pay the bills, which is actually it's still a lot. The gas bill, man, it is killing me. But it's still significantly less than rent, and I get to live alone, and I have like a big house to fucking play in. Whereas I'm so used to living in small rooms, like with 3 other people living in the house. So anyway, golden opportunity, and what my job used to be. I've had many jobs. I've been all over the world. I have traveled a lot. I've had many jobs. But what I was doing at this point was I had a podcast company. I hate talking about this shit, so I'll just... It was boring. It was incredibly boring. I would make podcasts for people. I would, like, edit podcasts for people. It's funny because I hate podcasts. But I can't avoid them. I have, like... The Small Dude has 2 podcasts, but I hate them, but I think I know how to make them. So I was making them for money. And it was the most insanely boring shit. Because you don't get to choose the podcast that you edit. So you're just listening like an air conditioning company. I was editing an air conditioning podcast. I was editing what else? Electricity company. DIY construction company. This guy who wanted an audiobook, and he's like a holistic therapist, or he's like a guru, spiritual guru, and he's the most up his own fucking hole, pretentious prick. I have to play you some of his audiobook sometime. It's hilarious. He's actually the voice. There's this video I did called The Life of Peter Griffin. It's also in Family Guy the movie. When Peter Griffin is watching the TV, there's this guy on the TV who's talking, and he says something like, "I first discovered masturbation when I was 8 years old." That was taken from the audiobook of this guy who paid me to edit his ramblings. So speaking of ramblings, I quit the podcast job. I said no more. I closed the business. This was around January this year. And I wanted to work on this project that I had been actively doing for a couple years. It's called PDF Pocket Hole. Now, it's on YouTube and everything. And you can look it up. There's like videos and whatever. It was rebranded to You Are Online. I'd rather you didn't right now, because I'm going to show you clips and stuff from that channel. So you can watch it now if you want and go and look it up. But in January, I decided, like, yeah, I'm going to go fucking full time with that. And I essentially spent the first, like, 4 months of 2022, like, fucking, like, autism levels of obsession with making videos and music and podcasts for this project. Can't stay away from the podcasts. And I was doing really well, and I learned so much shit, and I was trying everything. Like, I had a gaming thing where, like, I got this guy to help me figure out how to like record myself playing games, podcasts, music, videos. I wanted to do like a stand-up comedy bit. And long story short, it was insane. Like I was doing way too many things. And here's I was gonna say this is what I wanted to talk about. Not really. I'm rambling a little bit. The thing is, it didn't work because the premise was bad. And here's the thing about like making videos, and this is why I love The Small Dude and why I think The Small Dude is gonna do really well, because I love the premise of The Small Dude. I mean, first of all, it starts with these like weird 2008 videos. Then it turns into kind of an A or G, like Family Guy / old found footage stuff. There's Family Guy, the podcast, and then now we're at the point where there's this guy who's obsessed with Family Guy, and he clearly has been for like 13 years or whatever. And I love that character, and I love the premise. Like, he's obsessed with Family Guy. There's so much you can do with that. And that's why I think The Small Dude is good, and why I'm confident with it. But with this other project, PDF Pocket Hole, there was no like premise. It was just me wearing a mask and doing shit that I wanted to do. And it was completely like, it was one of those things where you're like, I'm me. That's what so much of the internet is now. Like, I'm me. Watch me be me online. Here's a song I made. Here's a video I made. And none of it has like cohesion. The things aren't like really connected, other than the fact that it's just you who made all these things. And that's why I think that is a uphill fucking battle. You just have to be extremely lucky in hoping that you'll develop some sort of cult of personality or whatever. It's not my style. Anyway. So I tried really hard with that, and it did okay. I mean, it was getting somewhere fast, but it was not fun. It wasn't fun for two reasons. One, because I knew that, like, where the fuck is this gonna go? I had no long-term plan. Each video, each thing was like just like the last idea that I had. There was no like long-term thinking on it. The second problem with it was the audience. And here's where you come in. The audience for this thing were Irish people. And I hate Irish people. I hate them! I don't hate them. I do. It's more like, it's not like an act of hate. It's more like I don't want anything to do with them. I have a lot of problems with Irish people. Irish culture actually is the thing, because the thing with Ireland is when you make stuff here and you're like an Irish artist or anything, you're Irish anything, musician, whatever, there's this extreme tunnel vision that people get where like if you leave Ireland, people hate you. Not all the time. I mean, there's lots of artists who've like made it out, like let's say, I don't know, Hozier, U2, I don't know, I can't fucking think right now. They're these like big massive bands, but any band or like artist who makes it outside of Ireland, or people talk about Jacksepticeye. I've never watched a video of his. I don't know anything about him, but people will be like, hey, you're from Jacksepticeye country. And the reason why Jacksepticeye and all these people, Hozier, whatever, are successful is because they fucking say goodbye to Ireland and Irish audiences, because they do not have your back at all. Like when you're in Ireland, you feel like the king of the town because it's so easy to get popular quickly because there's so few people and they're all like just engaging with Irish culture amongst each other. People in Ireland are like so into it, and you'll feel like the king until you try and make it outside of Ireland. And then they say, you can go fuck yourself, buddy. I thought you were an Irish artist. But the old project I had was like Irish audiences. And it wasn't fun to make stuff for those people. So I was just taking a break from it, and I had like learned so much about video editing just from doing it. The best way to get good at something is just by doing it. And I was like, I wonder what I could make with the small dude now that I've learned all these fucking skills so fast. I mean, I was already somewhat adept with video stuff, but I really wanted to just see like how far I've come. So I made that video, the new Family Guy character, where Peter introduces baby Stevie. And I had so much fun making that. Like, it was insane. Like, I had way more fun doing that than I did with any of the videos that I'd worked on since like January 2022. And I was like, fuck it, let's do this. Let's do this channel. And then when I came back, people were like, yeah, the small dude's back. And, you know, the whole thing about the videos is it's like this crude humor where like Peter's just calling people gay, and like it takes like 2 seconds to think of a joke because you're just doing the first thing that comes to your head, which I just find so much funnier. And I don't know, like, it's just, there's no pressure on it, it's just fun. So yeah, so this is my full-time thing now, is what I'm trying to say. That I originally like gave up my job and everything to do this, so I have no income. I'm on this social security, and I don't like that at all, because I don't like getting free money. You know, I didn't earn that. But I've just got this golden opportunity. I've got the house. I've got unlimited amounts of time to work on the small dude. Oh man, it's so perfect. But the only thing is I've no money. And not that it really matters, but I just thought it was worth talking about. So let's watch a video. Do you want to watch a video? All right, this is pretty funny. I have no idea what I'm doing with this fucking podcast, by the way. Actually, just when I was swapping over the camera, an alarm on my phone went off, and I saw that someone subscribed to the Patreon. His name was Antonio. So, you know, I shouldn't be prioritizing people, actually. Look, the thing is, with this podcast, I feel like telling you that this is my low effort content. That's just kind of funny because it's not very low effort at all, is it? I think this is pretty fun. I'm having fun. I'm showing this to you because I was telling you about the PDF Pocket Hole project. And, like, that's on YouTube. But I have a video that I filmed, and I was gonna put it out. But then I started working on the small dude stuff. And I just kind of... I wasn't bothered, like, I finished the video. I just wasn't bothered putting it out because I had no intention of continuing this project. But I do think it's a good video, and I haven't watched it. I'd say I finished it like 4 months ago. I haven't watched it since, but I remember having a lot of fun with it. So this is just a fully finished video, which is hilarious. I thought you might like to see it. Good evening.
You are online!
Good evening.
Are you watching me in my garden, you sicko?
Get out of here!
I'm not going to be talking about my full life, so I'm not going to talk about my side hustle as a mechanical engineer. I'm not going to be talking about things that pertain to my personal survival, such as brushing my teeth, turning the alarm on and off, turning the light switches on and off, or turning the light switches on and off. I will strictly be talking about my life as both man and podcaster. Well, I really thought that smoke was gonna look a lot cooler. Why don't we just add in an effect? I'm PDF Pocket Hole, and I'll be taking you through the week of an artist. It is currently Monday morning, which means that we need to play our Monday sound. It's the first sound of the week. By Friday, I will write and record a hip-hop song. I know, it's crazy. This could all go terribly wrong. Should take about 10-15 minutes. I'm not enjoying that as much now. It's funny, I put so much into this like project. I just don't like that character. It's not a character, it's like me, but it's like a real diluted version. It's not even I don't know. The video gets better though. There's certain bits I know I really like.
She made me always feel like the boss. I said I'm in the wrong hole. I said I'm lost.
Today we're sound searching in the most unusual place on earth, the local park. This is a Foley microphone, which means that it picks up sounds from all around. Over here's a bit of rock music, electronic. Over here is some spooky Halloween music. Oh. This is what the kids call the spooky tree. This is the spot where the tree man of Pocket World himself was born. Right there. You can still stimulate the tree yourself by hand. The elf of alcoholism provided some treats. Actually, they're non-alcoholic. Some non-alcoholics were drinking here. Ah, here we go. Plaque music. It's an old Russian opera piece. Great. I'm getting loads of types of stuff here today. That's what I like. A good variety. You know, that bit there is a great example of I don't know how to be funny on camera when I'm being normal. When I watch the Small Dude stuff and I'm seeing like, ladies and gentlemen, that guy, I just laugh so hard. I feel like it's not even me. When I watch it back, I don't even remember the shit that I said. I'll look back and like laugh at it as if I've just heard it for the first time. It just comes out. And I feel like that voice is just funny. Like, well, I was down at the supermarket the other day. Ladies and gentlemen, I talked to Seth MacFarlane. That guy, okay. I like that guy. But I find it so hard to just be like on camera in my normal voice and be funny. I don't know who to be. Like, I can do this because this is just like normal, just talking. Man, I find that the hardest thing ever. And this video, like, just, I'm so glad I don't do this shit anymore now because that is painful. These are the calm, relaxing sounds of nature that you might hear on a folk record. What's a good, like, natural band? Bon Iver went up to the mountains. Bon Iver just went to a nice field and he had this microphone, the foliage microphone, and he just quite simply pointed it at the sunset. And what you hear is actually what's on the record, uncut. We've got Trash. We've got Honey Puff, The Lab. You've ever heard of them? Now, I'm not much of a sports person myself, but I am a fan of sports music. Some classic football noises there. Some great stuff out today. You can hear tent music in the background. Do you hear that? This is the types of places where we'll be getting hip-hop music from. We're doing this video, and I was just so in the flow of it that I didn't consider why there's a tent in this park. Because it's not a huge, it's a pretty big park, but you wouldn't live there, you know? This is not the type of place you live at all. And only in hindsight now I realize that's a person who can't afford rent or, this is what I'm talking about, how lucky I am to have this house, because I couldn't fucking afford rent. It's like €800 per month if you're lucky to get a room somewhere. I would fucking sleep in a tent. I'd be pretty pissed if someone was like filming my tent. Cool beat that we might be able to use for the hip-hop song. Oh, whoa! Ah! Trance music! Ah, yes, over here. Fascinating stuff, really. We'll be using that for the hip-hop song. Oh my god. What have we got here? What have we got here? It's radioactive. Get back, get back, get back. Jesus Christ, I can't believe we stood so close to that. This is dangerous. This is the stuff that the kids get hooked on. I know it's popular. I'm gonna get a bit close, but not for too long.
Do not proceed until you have met the word knowledge requirements.
Oh yeah, I actually forgot to tell you that you have to be smart to be an artist. So, here's a list of words that you should incorporate into your vocabulary. Sorcerer, spellbound, wizardly, cursed, alakazam, bombastic, transubstantiation, transient, pandering, slandering, objection, Your Honor, macchiato, subpoena, sandtrap, Geronimo. This is actually painful to watch now. I'm not enjoying this at all. I loved the bit in the park, but you know what happened was I had this idea for it was like how to be an artist. That was going to be the video, and my whole character was going to be like, I'm kind of better than you. Like, I think I'm an amazing artist, and I'm like talking down to you, and I'm arrogant. That was the character, but it just does not come across that way. And then halfway through, I mean, it comes across me actually just being arrogant. There's no joke to it. Like, it's not funny that I'm arrogant. I'm not doing it enough. I'm not exaggerating it enough. So it just looks like I am that way. And halfway through the video, I kind of changed. It was so aimless. I kept changing what the video was about. So then it became about like making a hip hop song. And holy shit, like I'd already filmed half of it, so I'm trying to like splice it together, and I think you forget the premise of the video. You're like, I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm watching this, I'm like, wait, if I want to be an artist, what are you talking about? Wait, what is this video? What's my goal? It's not clear at all. Well, you've just caught me doing my work. It's Wednesday, and you know what that means, right? It's Relaxation Wednesday! Relaxation Wednesday. I was just doing a bit of relaxing typing there. I'm just typing out my Wednesday mantra. As all good gurus would tell you, repetition, 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 repetition. 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 So I'd like everybody now to repeat after me on this Repetition Wednesday. Say it with me now. I am an artist.
I am an artist!
I am an artist.
I am an artist!
I am an artist!
I am an artist!
Repeat after me, okay? I am an artist. I am an artist. I am an artist. I am an artist.
I am an artist.
I am an artist.
I am an artist.
I am an artist.
I'm not an artist.
Whoa, I'm an artist.
I am an artist.
I am an artist.
I went to the beach. I like to be here sometimes. Look at the moon. I probably think about the moon like 24 times a minute. Do I have it? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, fuck. I haven't watched this in a while, and I didn't look. Okay, here's the thing. I think hip hop's really dumb. No, hip hop's not dumb. I think white Irish people doing hip hop is dumb. But I still like hip hop. I mean, I'm not a big fan. I think there's a lot to be explored with the genre. And the reason I like it is because you can say a lot of words in it. You can tell a story. There's loads of opportunities for telling a story in hip hop, not like there is with a rock song, because a rock song generally comes back to the chorus. There's like 8 or 16 lines in a verse, chorus, then a verse. Such a small amount of things that you can realistically say, and everything that you sing is like really melodic, and a lot of the time it ends up serving the song musically rather than serving any type of story. But for hip hop, you can literally just get on the mic and tell a story. And that's what I like about hip hop. But it's not really what people do with hip hop. I find it hard to find a hip hop artist whose lyrics I enjoy, that is like meaningful, and it's not just like braggadocious or random and fucking retarded. So for some reason, I thought I would like make this character of PDF Pocket Hole like kind of arrogant, better than you type guy, and then he would make a hip hop song just like teaching you big words. And I think there's a funny idea in there, but when I watch this back, it just looks to me like a guy doing a hip hop song, like unironically, which was not the point at all. So anyway, we'll watch it. I'm only letting you watch this because to finish the fucking video. I would love to stop watching now, but anyway, maybe it's not as bad as I think, but I would never do this now. I'm a new guy. This was me 3 months ago. I've changed. Yeah. Sorcerer, spellbound, wizardly, cursed, alakazam, bombastic, transubstantiation, transient, pandering, slandering.
Objection, Your Honor!
Subpoena macchiato, Santra. Geronimo, hi-ho, here we go. Pocket hole, hip-hop, rap, white man with a laugh track. And a small clap. It's time for the breakdown. Break down. And cry, break down and cry. Sorcerer, spellbound, wizardly, cursed, alakazam, bombastic, transubstantiation, transient, pandering, slandering, objection, Your Honor, subpoena macchiato, soundtrap, Geronimo, hi-ho, here we go, pocket hole, hip-hop, rap, white man with a laugh track, and a small clap. Medium clap. Bring it up to a large clap. Back to the small clap.
Yeah! Podcasting 2022 Hip Hop.
That's the video. You know, I think it's kind of funny because I just criticized myself. I, as PDF Pocket Hole, allow the small dude to criticize my video. Thank you, sir. I will do just that. Good day. When I was saying earlier, asking you to comment video or audio, which one you prefer. I do this shit because I like what I'm doing, but I've never really had much validation for what I do. Because like that video that you just watched there, I think there's a lot of good things about it, but it's confusing, and I get why it's confusing now. But I didn't get that at the time whatsoever. And so if I understand why it's confusing now, then I also understand why people could never give me like good feedback on anything, because they don't get where I'm coming from with stuff. Which has always kind of led me to just really want feedback. because I just wanted someone to like get what I'm doing. So I think I have this bad habit of like asking you, like, tell me if you want a video podcast or an audio podcast. Tell me if you like the camera being up high or low. Tell me if you like the GoPro. I feel the urge to say that shit, even though it actually, like, that's retarded. Because if one person says they want an audio podcast and the other says video, like, where are we then, you know? Where does it end? Is it like a vote? Okay, out of 100 people who comment, if more than 50 people say one thing, then I'll do that. That makes no sense. I just have to make the decision and then stick with it. So, yeah, it's annoying. I hate being a flawed individual. But that is something that people do all the time. Like, I don't know if it's... I always feel like YouTubers are trying to trick people into like giving them engagement. That is obviously a thing, like, comment below and tell me your favorite part of this video or whatever. But like, why? No. Make a good video. That's what I say when I'm watching videos. Don't ask me to tell you what to do. You're the one who's supposed to be good at making videos. Why would you be taking advice from random screen names? Now I say that, but there is also other things where some people will like voice their opinion. And sometimes it'll be like fucking right. It'll be right. I get that a lot with the small dude videos. Some people be like, Peter Griffin should do this, or Peter Griffin should declare war on Serbia or something like that. I'll be like, oh, that's a good idea. But that's different, because that's not like a criticism of what's happening. That's just someone suggesting what should happen. But I suppose that's the thing. I like when people give me good ideas for free. So that's why I'm thinking, if you say that do the camera up high, yes, I just got a free idea. Anyway, listen, that's me overanalyzing John the overanalyzer. So the final thing that we're gonna do today is we're gonna listen to a song. So I'm trying to figure out what this podcast is, right? On one hand, I want it to be real low effort, and on the other hand, I know that's impossible. So now it's a battle of how many things do I have to show you? And I was looking through my old hard drives and I was like, damn, I've got a lot of things to show you. I've got so much fucking stuff that I've made over the years. The only kind of drawback with it is that they're all stuff I've done previously. So that means they're worse. I'm showing you old things that I could now do better if I tried. But I've still just got a whole library of content. So I didn't know where to start. I was looking through all like old songs and everything. And there's stuff that I know that you'd like more than others. Just couldn't decide. And also, like, do I play you a sincere song or do I just play you some like piece of shit? So what I thought I'd do is just play you like the most rancid piece of shit that I have. It reminded me of a Family Guy slideshow. Because there's stuff that I've made in the past where I just like unleashed and allowed myself to go as insane as I like. And I'm talking when I'm like 14 or something. And I've never looked back in them because I thought they were too crazy. But now I'm just thinking about Family Guy slideshow and how I used to think that was too crazy. So I was looking through my old like files and I found this track called First Wednesday of the Month. And oh, this is just so weird. I haven't listened to it yet. So like I'm gonna play it now in a sec. I'll be hearing this for the first time since it was recorded when I was like 14. When I was 14, I had this idea to record like an entire concept album. The concept was like each track was a therapy session, and you would like delve deeper into the mind of this crazy person, whatever. It wasn't the most nuanced idea. I was 14. But what's kind of funny about this specific recording is that I recorded it on Audacity, I think. And I've only used Audacity once in my life, and it was to record this. And in my memory, I remember that it was insane. I have no idea what it sounds like at all. But it's just funny because I have so much stuff in the past that it was kind of like me unironically making a shit post. Because I was actually trying to make something. But this is just one recording that I remember I made it once and I just like stored it away, and I was like, there's like a folder that's like, listen to this in 10 years. And it's actually been like over 10 years, I think. And also this was when I first discovered weed. I don't smoke or like do drugs or anything anymore, but I was really into it for a long time, and I was obsessively trying to make crazy shit to listen to while I'm high. So anyway, let's just have I could be completely wrong. I could have completely misremembered this, but let's just see what it is. It's called First Wednesday of the Month. Sounds more like a song about your period than a therapy session. It's only a minute. It's 1 minute long. I just want to say something. 1, 2, 3, 4. Devious spell, believe me, it's hell, and maybe myself can forgive me in the long run. The long run. Devious spell and deviate from my body. I don't know how to forgive myself. Forgive myself. What is this? It's actually pretty funny how things work out in the end, I suppose. You just never know what's gonna happen. And when it does happen, you don't know what to do. You thought you were prepared for this moment, but you just gotta. I suppose you just gotta. You've gotta. You've just gotta. There's nothing else we can do. Until the stars shine blue. Oh. That was not as bad as I thought. The start, I had no idea what the fuck was gonna happen. That was okay. I mean, yeah, to be honest, I've made much worse stuff than that. I'm kind of impressed. Like, I feel like I've just, like my little boy, you know, like, hey, son, good job. That made sense. That wasn't like disorientating. Okay. There was 2 tracks, so there was that. And in my memory, it was some like the sound of the thing was just like fucking death grips or something. The second track has to be the one then that I thought was like way too insane, because that one was pretty normal, all things considered. This one's called Waves of Prying Eyes. Oh yeah, this is more like it.
Every Wednesday I meet with Paul. Since last week we've not progressed at all. He prefers to be referred to as Optic Paul, not because he's wrong or because he's tall. He won't tell me why, but it's the only name he'll respond to. My friend Paul, my friend Paul, my friend Paul. I have no friend Paul. He is known as Optic Paul. He is known as Optic Paul. He will be called as Optic Paul. I will know him as Optic Paul. Talk to me, Optic Paul.
What the fuck?
We have so many questions for you.
What?
We only have time for 2. Choose 2. Only 2. People, he doesn't understand the words you speak. His mind is mine. No more questions this week.
Whoa! Oh shit!
We heard, we learned, we learned, we heard.
We heard, we learned, we learned,
Oh man,
we learned, we learned.
I was a freak. crazy. I like it. I mean, it's no one should ever hear that. That should not be released. I mean, this is perfect. This is the perfect place for that song to be. Because you can't put that anywhere. You can't. I mean, maybe I could. I just upload that as a YouTube video, but like, oh, it's too scary, you know? Like, I don't like scaring people. I do it accidentally. I always end up scaring people, but it's not my preferred reaction. Oh man, that was creepy. I mean, I remember recording it, and I didn't think it wasn't supposed to be scary. It was just supposed to be like trippy. So I was like, I would smoke weed in my bedroom like at 1 o'clock in the morning or something when my parents went to bed, put on headphones and listen to like trippy songs that I made. And that's what I was supposed to do with this. And for some reason I decided to just lock this away and like, you know, listen to it fucking 14 years later. Or it couldn't have been 14, like 10 years or something. Wow. I'm shocked. It's not because I'm surprised that I made that. I'm just surprised just to hear it. It's like, that's why I love recording stuff like this, because I never take photos or anything of myself or videos. Normally, I just record like songs or little audio bits, because I feel like that's way more interesting to look back on in the future than a photograph. Because when I look at a photo, I'm like, yeah, that's me standing in a garden 10 years ago. That doesn't explain what I was like or what I was thinking or what was inside. But when you hear shit like that, like fucking so much stuff comes back about like, I remember how it felt to be that person. But then to look at that as an adult, like, yeah, I get why people thought I was so weird. Yeah, I mean, I get it. I don't think that is like the weirdest thing ever. It is actually pretty fucking... It's up there. It's up there. Yeah, it is. Damn. I'm just having so many revelations about who I am. Who am I? What have I become? Am I better or worse now? I'm definitely more, what would you call it? Palatable. That was unpalatable, what you listened to. That's inaccessible. Oh man. All right, cool. Well, we're just gonna close it off there because that was a fun episode. I'm kind of... listen, here's the thing. I need to sort this out at some stage, but I'm still not sure like how often to put these out. Because I was actually really like excited to do this today. I wasn't gonna do it, but I actually just wanted to. And I couldn't contain the urge to make a podcast. Do you ever get that? You have an insatiable urge to create a video podcast? I just knew it'd be fun. But there's just this part of me where I'm thinking like, how often can how can I keep this up? How many things are there to talk about? How many videos are there to watch? But to be honest, that's like 1% of the stuff that I think I have to show you. So, oh, you know what? I should say that I'll put it out every week. I should say that, shouldn't I? You know what? Okay, here's the deal, alright? Trade offer. Trade offer. You get a podcast every week, but... Well, this isn't an offer actually, it's just you get that, but caveat, if I don't upload it, you're not allowed to say shit, alright? Because I'm putting the effort in. So if I'm not uploading it, you know it's because I'm making a video for YouTube or something. I'm not skipping on it because I'm lazy. And you know what, if I want to go on holiday with my €0 in the bank, I literally can't even afford to get on the bus until tomorrow when I get my paycheck from the government. If I want to take a week off or whatever, then I'm just going to take a week off and you're just going to have to suck it up, alright? So I think that's fair. But having said that, I'll probably still end up doing it consistently. So, all right. Let's see. How do we sign this thing off? Oh yeah, last thing. I will probably end up making some like theme song, some graphics and whatever. It'll build over time. All right, thanks for sticking around. Appreciate y'all. Oh fuck. Okay, last thing. I know it's real meta. I'm like talking behind the scenes stuff. I know I should put patrons somewhere, but I don't know how to work it into like the YouTube videos. So maybe I'll just do it here. I'll like do a list of patrons and say thanks to all the small dudes and the big dude. You know what I'll do? Thanks to all the small dudes. Not going to shout out anyone in particular, even though I mentioned Antonio earlier. Shouldn't have done that. I love all the small dudes. We've got no tiny dudes for the moment, but we have got a big dude. Kraken619. Thank you, sir. I shout out the big dudes. Anyway, next episode, we'll work on it. We'll get better. All right. Talk to you later.